we left the Tree of Ravens. Oh shit, we have some good music here, but we'll leave it there. Where last we left the Tree of Ravens, we had found ourselves locked in the Belmont prison, straight after the unfortunate nature of being accused for the crime that we were totally going to commit, but were unfortunately beaten to the punch, as our captain had died. We managed to escape the jail cells, which I will quickly repost this map so that people can see. We escaped the jail cells, killed Craven, who was sent after us by Lord Gorvo, absconded with some prison clothes and some very basic gear, along with freeing some people, like Kimmy and Blondie, as well as Vivian Morrow, who said that she can help us out with the collars, and Cork and Smiley, two strange fellows, who also said that they can help us out with the collar, but they wanted us to leave now with them, even though Cork seemed to have been able to get himself out of the jail more or less on his own without any assistance. We ended up taking out one of the guards that was inside the jail, gave him the old razzle-dazzle and the shower treatment, and saw that the entire guard staff got attacked and pretty heavily murked by a Cyclops that was just absolutely wrecking shop before Warden Arvin Skull came out and basically tried to start subduing it. We also liberated one Antoine Dubois from his post after he was shoved in front of the raging Cyclops by Gorm, the asshole who we want to kick the shit out of the next time that we get the chance to see him. With that, you and your allies are currently... Did I get all these right? I didn't get them right. I switched Razzik and Eelix. Oh well. But you are wandering with your two allies, Antoine Dubois and Vivian Morrow, as you are heading towards one of Vivian's hideouts, a little hangout that she happens to favor, a bar called the Powder Keg. Of course, you don't have to go to this bar if you don't want to. You were warned something by Vivian that you shouldn't go home. You shouldn't go back to the Tree of Ravens. You'll also notice that Antoine's getting a little nervous now that he's walking with you through the streets, trying to make sure you guys are going unnoticed, even though you are wearing... a couple of you were wearing guard clothes, but several of you were wearing prison clothes as you were wandering through back alleys. What would you guys like to do?
I think we talked about turning around, going back, and getting our crap back. So, if everyone is still interested in doing that, I'm good with that. If you got another idea you want to do, I'm good with that too. Like, I don't know why, but this program is not allowing me to see any maps or anything. I got nothing but black screen.
Have you tried changing your browser?
What do you mean changing my, like, to a different browser?
Yeah, like if you're browsing on Chrome, go to Edge instead.
Giggity. Are you even displaying a map right now, though?
I can give you the edges.
Okay, so I was going to say, my screen's dark too, man. Previously, I saw the prison, but when it switched over to this, it went dark. I figured
I think we're...
Yeah, right now...
Yeah, I think we're just not seeing it at the moment because right now we're supposedly in an alley.
Yeah,
I think we're still, like, fade to black. We just haven't faded it. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. So we're good. There's no technical difficulty.
Yeah. Essentially, I don't know if you guys are going to go here, so I don't want to reveal the map before you actually arrive here.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so let's take inventory. What do we have right now on us? Like, what do we look like? What gear do we have to do what we need to do with? Whatever what we need to do is.
Did you guys
now?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, right now Karrith has on him just a short sword and a dagger. And the armor he stole. off of that guard on him at the moment. I'm checking some inventory as well. And that seems to be all he's got on him.
Realizing I had some notes in the other room.
What about everyone else?
Nyphix doesn't have shit on her.
You got a club. You absconded with a wooden club.
Did I?
That you did. It is the wooden club from the bed that you took. You also grabbed up one of Karrith's little knife daggers.
Yeah.
I thought I lost that when I was knocked out.
I'm assuming you picked it up before you ran. I already took 20,000 gold worth of stuff from you. I'm not gonna, not gonna
Right. Take whatever we have left. So we just now made it to the alleyway, right?
Yep, you guys are currently scooting through the alleys and away from the prison, back into Belgium.
Well, let's.
Okay.
Like, are we trying to go back and get our stuff? Or are we just trying to go?
Not with, what's his name in the courtyard? I don't know about you, but dressed in rags is not the best way to go battling the chief of the prison.
Also, keep in mind, most of you are still bleeding out.
Yeah. I literally was just thinking the same thing.
I know that Eelix had an entire set of armor on him because he stole an entire guard set of armor.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
As
plate
well.
mail too.
Yep, it's plate mail.
Which is not something I really should be wearing. Is there anybody here who would benefit from it more than me? Who's like the fighter type?
Well, the fighter of the group right now, Karrith. I unfortunately rolled a nat 1 on my perception, so I can only imagine what he's going through in his head. Is Antoine still holding me?
Yeah, Antoine is still holding you, and you can sense that he's kind of trembling as he's holding you. Not against your weight or anything, but more or less the adrenaline.
I think.
wears off.
Yeah, I think at this point, I'm going to kind of like shove myself a little bit off Antoine. Not in a rude way, but enough for him to understand, look, I'm going to try to get to my own feet. And I'm just going to lean against the wall, kind of hunker down. Still kind of nursing my 2 hit points I have left. I think what's going through Karrith's head right now is truly the crossroads of what this alley feels like. Thinking back to that hallway, watching Nyphix go down, and not knowing what decision to make. Feeling really powerless and letting just some prison guard do a decision that he just had no idea what the outcome was. He just feels... He feels shame and neglect, and he doesn't want to keep moving right now.
As you see the fighter of the group kind of losing his spirit and trying to gain himself after the knowledge of the captain dying and all the carnage that just happened. You'll see as Antoine kind of looks at you guys afterwards, and for a split second, comes to his realization and goes, "Oh, fuck me, my sister. I got so caught up in the moment, I forgot about my sister." Vivian kind of looks over and goes, "Yeah, I don't think job desertion is going to be good on your resume. If I were you, I would scamper on back and tell them that you lost us. Maybe if you're as wholehearted about the tree as you think you are, you can point them in the other direction." And you'll watch as Antoine kind of starts nodding before he looks at all you guys and goes, "I'm going to say, Working with you guys was amazing. I'll do my best. And he hesitantly scampers out in the hall, scampers out of the alleyway, heading back towards the prison. Suppose you all are a little rattled after what happened. But if you don't keep moving, you might as well don your chains and go on back. Or you can...
You could get these things off, couldn't you?
I did. Not here, not in an alleyway. What, are the rats going to help me? We can make our way to the powdered keg. Patty's got some tools behind the counter that I can use. I don't think any of you are going to be good going back.
Back up.
I don't think any of you are going to be good going back to the prison with what meager health you have left. A little shaky as you stand, but you're up.
Yeah.
What say the three of you?
We definitely need to get these collars off before we do anything. Some of us are functioning at half capacity.
All right.
Yeah. I would say as a wizard, probably more like a quarter.
Your mic kind of like drifted. What'd you say?
Yeah, I was just saying, as a wizard with no ability to use magic, I'm basically useless. I'm a civilian.
And what about you? She looks at Nyphix. You shaking off the rust?
I can only heal so much with torn shreds of cloth, so the sooner this collar comes off, the better.
I'm pretty sure Patty has some med kits. Let's be on our way then. You begin to maneuver further and further through the back alley, and eventually you hear the sounds of the prison fight dwindling in the background. The fight that was going on has now since ceased, and either the Cyclops has gotten away or it was felled by Arvin, Warden Skull, in the field. And soon, you find yourself at a little hole-in-the-wall tavern. Patty at your front. Without hesitation, she pushes through the door, leading you inside to the raucous mess of people that are hanging out, drinking and enjoying their random beverages. Couple party games going off on the side by the rug, and there is a piano man who is playing at the piano. There's also a sign that sits next to the piano that says, "No fires in this establishment." And you guys will note that the whole wall over here is scarred by basically burned flames from what seems to be some past battle. Vivian will proceed to wander over and behind the counter and starts to talk with this about average height human brunette with wavy hair. And she points and looks at you guys in the doorway. And then you watch as she wanders into the back room. As Patty nods to you guys as you're walking in. As you look around at the tables where you would expect to see your average blacksmith or merchant or even a commoner off the street, you see instead people who are very good at hiding and keeping things secret. A thieves' guild of sorts. And everywhere that you look, Eelix, because you were the one who looked at it, you will see little decorative flags or little napkins that have a circle with a triangle in the middle of it.
Yes, we saw that earlier.
However, I will also remind you that Vivian's had a wand on her hand.
Okay. So I'm going to call over to Vivian if they're nearby and be like, so, this is similar to what you got on your hand. Can you,
I think...
Oh.
Sorry, I thought Vivian left.
Yeah, Vivian's in the back room at the moment.
Shit.
But you'll notice a couple other people with the same tattoos and markings.
Okay.
Let's go through your mud, Eelix.
All right.
Well, that symbol there is very similar to this symbol that we saw on Vivian. They're not the same,
Some
but
kind of
They're similar.
Do you think it's similar? Do you think it's similar to the pendants we had?
The pendants.
Yeah, the ones we had for the Tree of Ravens.
Oh, gotcha. So like a guild symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eelix, you actually deduced that it would be a guild symbol when you check earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So seems most likely.
Well, hopefully it's good company of a guild. I'm gonna start huddling my way towards this booth on the right side.
Okay.
Try
And you'll
to sit into the closest corner just so that people don't see me bleeding out.
And you'll see Patty comes over and puts 4 drinks down on the table and then proceeds to start heading away. You all are free to move your tokens as you please while you await Vivian. Conversate about your next moves or anything like that.
Have a drink.
It is a maple honey ale. Not bad, honestly.
Thank you.
Nyphix is gonna approach the bar where the barmaid is. And ask if she has any medical supplies that I could possibly get my hands on.
You'll see she's cleaning up one of the mugs. She looks at you and goes, I'm pretty sure Vivian's in the back, grabbing everything we have. Haven't seen her come in this entangled in strangers in a long time. You're more than welcome to go back there and join her if you'd like.
Around the bar.
Why not? Don't worry, if I don't like you, I'll kill you. And she kind of smiles, just a playful smile of a jesting comment.
Well,
Easy on the L, Razzik.
I suppose I should see if she needs any extra hands. Wings, possibly.
And she'll kind of give you the nod to go back there. Little shake of her head.
Oh, I wanted Vindaloo tonight.
And with that, actually, I could probably just do this and remove the pill. Boop. Because now we don't need it anymore. All right. You wander back and you see Vivian is in the process of pulling med kits out of little compartments and containers where you typically wouldn't see them stored. Bottom shelf inside of some kettles that don't look like they see much use. There's a floorboard that's been pried up, and you see a set of lockpicks come out, as well as a couple swords. Looks like a set of four short swords, 2 rapiers, a dagger, and a great axe for some reason. You watch her finagling to get the great axe out of the floor. And eventually, when she does, she puts it to the side. There's a man in there who is currently cutting up vegetables, and as he watches her struggling with the great axe, he offers no help but just shakes his head at her. You're really going to give them Cleaver? I'm going to give them whatever they need. They're in here looking for help. And you can tell that Vivian hasn't noticed you yet. She'll go, it's only a matter of time before they all decide to go home, and when they do, let's just say they're not going to like the sights. Hello, Nyphix. If you want to help out, I have a couple of these things that can go out to the table. We have some armors and a crate around the side. We can at least get you guys leathered up. Make you guys stop looking like paupers.
Nyphix is going to approach her where she's kind of bent down to the floorboards and go, the sights.
The sights. You were branded as traitors by the regent himself. You can only imagine what a scorned noble will do. Use your imagination.
I can. But I'd rather hear at least some words so I can possibly prepare my fellow brothers out there for the sight we may see.
She hands you the swords, the whole stack of them, filling your arms with them. And you see a med kit on top of it. And she goes, the best thing I can tell you to prepare you for what you're going to see is avert your eyes and don't go back. All I'm saying is the only martyrs who aren't going to be swinging in the gallows of the Belfont prison. Sometimes they don't let sleeping men lie. And she walks out. Leaving you with the weapons and holding 3 medkits in her hands as well as the lockpicks. As she's coming back out, Eelix, sitting in the bathroom, you are noticing that there's a bit of graffiti on the wall. For a good time called Taviri. There is only a picture of a sending stone, no number. The sending stone does have interesting markers on it. Looks like a T with another cross dead center in the middle. You will also see that they have a cookbook sitting off to the side. I don't know why anybody's reading about cooking in here, but it says Nyphix Guide to Esil.
Yeah, I'm going to read that while having a grunter.
All right. You flip to a page about using heat metal to cook a large gorilla.
Huh.
And that the gorilla tastes tough and doesn't have very appetizing meat. While flavorful, it's mostly bitter. And salty. However, it then has in small margins how many sandwiches you can make out of one full-grown gorilla.
And how many is it?
The amount of sandwiches you can make out of one full-grown gorilla is 500 sandwiches out of thin-cut meat. You can get 250 sandwiches if you use thick-cut meat. And if you like assortments of vegetables and cheeses, you can squeeze out 750 sandwiches because you can lessen on your meats.
Okay. You never know. That might come in handy someday to know. Because a gorilla is about the size of a person. So you're saying you can make about 1,000 sandwiches out of a person. Now, if you have a really fat person, you can make even more sandwiches. If you have a really skinny person, you're kind of fucked. But you can still make some soup because they're going to have bones.
Think of a gorilla the size of a silverback.
Okay. You
So,
see, I've put a lot of thought into eating people. I want to do it just once. It's on my bucket list. It is on my bucket list. Cool. So, yeah, when I'm done doing the thing and it goes into its place, I'm going to head on back out. I'm assuming I have a grin on my face and my armor's a little less tight.
The armor is probably a little less tight if you still even want to be wearing it. Looks like you're among friends here.
Well, then I am going to get out of said armor. Because I think it has somebody's pee on it.
That might just be a possibility, honestly.
Yeah. Kind of lost track whether or not that happened in the jail cell or not, but it could have. It could have.
Also, you will also see in the margins of that cookbook that you were reading that there are what are referred to in quotes as magic mushrooms at the Glittering Vial.
The where and where?
The Glittering Vial.
Yeah, somebody remember this place called the Glittering Veil. Vial. Glittering Vial. I want to go check that out later. And did you know you can make about 1,000 sandwiches out of your average gorilla? So what are we eating?
Karrith is like looking over his brow at you, like barely holding on to what he's trying to do in his own chest. I'm sorry, what did you say about a gorilla?
Yes, so depending on how you cut the meat, you can get up to about 1,000 sandwiches out of a gorilla if you go really easy on the gorilla meat. So, yeah, there's this book in the bathroom over there on the left, the first store. I give it about 5 minutes to cool off in there, but there's pretty interesting recipes.
Nyphix is gonna slowly be approaching the table with all the stuff that she has, just at the opportune moment to catch the tail end of this conversation and just kind of look between the three of you.
What? Everybody
And
poops.
Just look at you and go, gorillas, bathrooms, meat. You know what? We definitely need food and rest and healing. So let's, yeah. We definitely need to get on that.
I messed up on that name. It's the Galaxy Vial.
The Galaxy Vial. Well, we're going to have to check that place out when we're done doing what we're doing. Because I want to try some of those mushrooms.
You'll watch as Vivian puts her tools on the table and begins working on Razzik first, since he was the closest to start getting your collar off. And it takes her a good long while. She's working at that collar for like 10 minutes, and then finally it pops and the collar falls off. And she'll start
Light up like I'm about to go Super Saiyan.
And then she'll work on Nyphix's, and after 10 minutes she pops off Nyphix's collar, and you both feel the magic slowly start welling back into your bodies.
Poor Nyphix is gonna shake like a fucking feathered chicken.
You feel the skin underneath your feathers getting goosebumps as that chill runs up your spine. And it's just that feeling of the arcane magic seeping back in through every pore you have. Like your first initiation. A pleasant feeling if you're into that type of thing, but past that just makes you twitch a little bit as you're like, this is chilly.
I like it. Like a lover's caress.
Razzik, however, yours does feel more like a lover's caress. Your magic comes in starting off like warm, like sitting in front of a space heater. And the more that you're sitting in front of that, the more that you're getting the magic in, it starts to feel like thousands of needles poking at your skin before your whole body starts to get tingly and you start feeling like you're heating up like a volcano. Because you, if I remember correctly, have a lot of elemental magics.
Finally.
And Eelix and Karrith, now that she's gotten some practice in it, your collar 5 minutes off.
Cool. When my collar goes off, I am going to run back to the bathroom.
Oh shit.
I think that's what he's going to go do.
Mm-hmm.
Karrith kind of just grips at his neck a little bit.
Well,
Kind of looks a little bit envious that everyone feels more rejuvenated when their collar comes off. He feels nothing magical about him.
I have a few more things I need to attend to, so I'm going to leave these kits on the counter, and I'll be back. You all try not to get too lost, okay? And Vivian will wander back to the back room one more time.
Okay. I'm going to come back to the table, but I was going to have used my skin suit back in the bathroom.
Okay.
So now my appearance is just a little bit altered. Still generally, just a very ordinary person, but the face is different.
All
I'm
right.
just going to come over, sit down like nothing's happened. My nose is a little different. The ears are a little different. Still recognizable if you know who I am, but different enough that people who just met me wouldn't recognize me.
So as you all sit here waiting for Vivian to come back with maybe some advice or something that can help, you all think of your last 24 hours and your time in that prison. Karrith, you taking out Craven and trying your best, and your body reacting almost before you have time to think. But the weight of the captain's death still weighing extremely heavy on your shoulders, now sitting amongst the last 4 ravens here. All 3 of them looking to rebuild, and you wondering how it would be possible without some sort of a figurehead. Nyphix, you're probably still very pissed off about that time that Karrith jumped in, stopped you from becoming a sidewalk filling, much to the detriment of his own self. Razzik, you still have an entire bag full of soap.
Eh?
You do. You pilfered every soap that they had in the so you have where they had the soaps at the moment. So you got like 8 bars on you. 7 because you threw one down the hallway. And Eelix, I am absolutely sure there are some things on your mind as well, like your plan going astray.
Yeah.
So in this
but I'm
moment,
not gonna blame anybody for that right now.
But in this moment of quiet, where the bar is not watching, you all are allowed a moment of time. What would you like to do?
First, Nyphix is going to pick up the healing items that she was handed, even though she's got her powers back, and generally start patching up Karrith.
Don't waste it on me.
She's just gonna ignore him.
You note that you're still being patched up. Sutures being sewn into your arm, gauze being applied. A generous amount of Neosporin. She might have tied that one a little too tight, though, that last gauze.
Probably deserve that.
Nyphix, as she ties that gauze, just, gives it a good, quick tie. Just just a quick tug. She kind of gives it a good smack on the arm and go there, all patched up. Next time you decide that you think you want to play hero, I suggest you think otherwise.
I think there's a bit of this cold stare that you get from Karrith. In a way of, I know you're right, but I hate that you're right. And he just slumps his head back down, probably smaller than normal.
As he slumps down, I kind of get a little close and just kind of words between him and I. Something that Razzik and Eelix don't particularly hear, but I know they can hear me. And I just go, you continue to try and compare yourself to the captain, who's no longer here. And you try to live up to him. You're not him. You will never be him. Be someone you want to be. Make your own future.
Unfortunately, in the state Karrith is in, I think he takes that in the most negative way possible and stands up.
That's perfectly fine.
And walks away. Well, hodls what he can.
With that, Karrith, you'll find that you're feeling pretty good. All 4 of you, as Nyphix is healing you, will go back up to full health. The healer's kits, however, are fully expended. No one saw anything.
Huh?
Exactly. All right. And with Karrith walking away, Nyphix, Eelix, and Razzik are at the table.
As Karrith goes and leaves, Nyphix sits back and looks over at Eelix and Razzik, and just kind of looks to them, crosses her arms, and goes, "It might be harsh words, but it's the only words that he needs to hear right now. And I'll be the ones to say it. But he needs to stop trying to be the captain when he's not."
Agreed.
We're concerned. We just got our asses wholly destroyed. Not kicked. Kicking implies that we fought back. No, we got turned over like a virgin. Alright? So, if fighting amongst each other is where you feel like you are, I'm in no position to tell you shouldn't be there. I, however, on the other hand, intend to cover as quickly as I can from this, find the rotten bastard responsible, and burn him till not only his soul, not even his soul remain.
You hear the echoes in your head, Razzik, of Malik's last words to the captain, somehow entering into your head, even unconscious at the time, sleeping. There you go, talking about peace. War is all I know. And with that, shortly afterwards, Patty will come to the table and goes, "So now that you all look fresh out of hell, can I get you on the food? Turkey? Ham?"
Take whatever's handy.
Something quick, got it.
You don't have any gorilla back there, do you?
I do not, unfortunately.
Oh, you had this really good cookbook in the bathroom.
Flip through a few pages. You'll. It's interesting. Men seem to eat anything.
I truly admire that. Just something quick and easy as well. Soup or stew?
We got both. I'll bring you stew. What about you? She looks at Nyphix.
Do you have anything without feathers?
Got the ham.
Ham is perfectly fine.
Ham it is. The four of you will find home here. Not sure if she's been so wise to tell you yet, but welcome to the Navigators. We'll serve as your home until you can get back on your feet and decide you don't want them. See you in a bit.
Thank you.
Oh, what should I get for the other one? The one that wandered off. Stew it is. And she'll start to head off as Vivian comes and puts 4 sets of leather armor on the table.
Can't wear that.
Then sell it.
Well, I mean,
Literally? Oh, I'm so glad Karrith was not in the room in that moment. Holy
I
shit.
didn't want to take what I couldn't use. It feels very disingenuous.
What did you fucking do for these people, by the way? Never mind, I'm not there. Oh, Jesus. Gonna keep splashing water on my face.
This is instant. Boom. Can't wear it. Girl couldn't even blink.
Didn't even see a Gucci scent on that and was like, ew, gross.
Get that out of here. That's not Coach.
Alright, hesitation is not in my nature.
She looks at you after she says, then sell it.
That's solid.
I just didn't want to take advantage. Honestly.
At
I
this
don't want
point,
to take it from somebody who could use it.
at this point, it's alms to the poor. If you're not going to use it and your group isn't going to use it, feel free to use it. This is gear that we have that's lying around. You see that it's not in the best condition. As she waves the shabby leather at you. It's stuff that we give to people who want to what's the word for it? Throw their lives away? You don't
Well,
believe in you coming back anyway. But if you do, you should know we helped in what little way we could.
thank you very much.
So, what's the next plan for the fallen tree? Chasing anybody particular? Going on the lam? Getting out of here? Breaking out of prison, you're going to have a bounty on your head from both the Emperor himself and surely the gorilla who decided he was going to try and bash you in the hallway. I saw what you did to him.
You got it coming. As for plans, just try to regain what we have lost best we can.
Well,
First step's going back in to get what they still have of ours.
oh, good luck with that. Place is going to be armed to the teeth. Also, to find the gods have rather liberal hands with those who are planning on swinging in the morning. Imagine what you had in there isn't in there anymore.
I don't see how there'd be anybody swinging in the morning. Didn't we release everybody?
I was a bit unconscious. Couldn't tell you.
Pretty sure we got everybody.
I thought we got everybody else. So.
What I can tell you is that there are still ravens around, so to speak. If I remember correctly, Malik and his crew was seen in town roughly around the same time yours were all rounded up. I had to take a guess, they're probably camped somewhere outside of town. Somewhere to the Nine Winds. Maybe they would be willing to offer you assistance.
I don't think so. I wouldn't put too much stock in that.
Well, Malik was a bit of a lone wolf. At least as far as anybody here knew him. Well,
Where might the direction of Malik be again?
I think if you were looking for him, you'd probably be best asking one of his cohorts. If I had to take a guess, Kurtz is somewhere in his cave to the northwest of town, probably working on his fungus. And you can usually find Kurtz at a boost rally anywhere soon. You know the man loves his drag. So, I guess the nearest cart race would probably be out the south. Though I assume that they're under as tight a watch as you are, so who knows if they'll actually be there. Either way, if you are looking to begin recruiting again, I would steer clear of Belfont and Alexandria. Don't want to be near a scene of a crime or in the capital.
In due time.
And of course, if you need any help, well, feel free to ask.
appreciate every bit of it.
Yes, that we do.
Absolutely.
Also, and you'll watch as she throws a backpack down the table as well. And the backpack that she throws has a bunch of oversized cloaks in it. For those of you who can't change their appearance, as she stares at Eelix a little bit, kind of caught off guard by the new look, but knowing that a random stranger wouldn't just come and sit with a bunch of fugitives. I mean, maybe they would, maybe they're creepy, but you know. These will help you get through town, for the most part, unfucked. Just, you know, don't drop the hood. And she'll start heading back towards the bar. Sitting down at her seat, Patty will end up coming out, dropping off your food. And while she's on her way back, she'll watch as somebody wanders into the bathroom with Karrith. And you just hear, as you're currently washing your face before this person walks in, staring at the mirror and remembering the person who gave you your lessons, who taught you how to swing a sword. Remembering who instilled that fighting spirit in you. And how this journey seems to have pressed all the wind out of your lungs. You take deep breaths, and how do you feel looking in that mirror? What do you see?
Karrith, when he looks at himself in the mirror, sees that little boy. Sees the one that was afraid of horses when they galloped away, and remembering it just led him to seeing what was left of his mother, dead on the ground. He remembers repressing it more than he does forgetting it. And the weight he feels on him, he keeps trying to remove that chain shirt off him that takes 10 minutes to remove. He's been like slowly removing as he's been looking at himself in the mirror. The weight just doesn't come off.
And as the chain shirt hits the ground, the door swings open, and you see a man wander in. He looks at you for a second, blinks, and goes, "Well, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't notice. I'll be real quick. I'm sorry, man. If I keep holding, I'm gonna piss on the floor and they'll kick me out again." And he starts peeing in the toilet.
Honestly, Karrith is not surprised. No moment of reprieve. He just understands it, and then with the clothing that was in under the chain shirt, he just kind of keeps it and moves on out.
Before you wander out, as you're sitting there going, no moment of reprieve, you hear the drunk man go, hey man, you don't want to keep running the water. You'll clog the drain.
I'm sorry?
If you keep running the water like that, you'll clog the drain. It's too much force going into the pipes, and when it does, there's no room for it to all go, and it backs it up. The systems are kind of poor, but you give them a little bit of time and let them breathe a bit, and they'll be all right. Just turn that water off. Sometimes you just gotta let the water flow, and then you'll hear as his piss stream increases in velocity, and he is now pissing loud as fuck into the center of the toilet to assert his dominance. The way how he's staring up at the ceiling with his eyes closed, there's nothing dominant about that. He is very easily killable right now.
I just turn and walk away. as if that was some type of lesson he was supposed to learn, and literally sheds off him. Christ. And he returns back.
And you'll see a bowl of stew on the table that Patty has now brought to the table, as well as all of your sandwiches, meats, and hams.
No gorilla.
No gorilla, unfortunately. Though, if I'm not mistaken, I would take a look. If you're really interested in finding some free-range gorilla, Silk Lore Textiles has an interesting merchant there. A short gnomish man usually wears fine silks, dressed like a butler, talks like a robot. But he might be privy to where you can hunt you down a silverback.
Alrighty. I will remember that.
And
So I see where you got our priorities straight. I look at Eelix.
Hey, you can't wage war on an empty stomach.
Who says we're waging war?
Who says we aren't?
I eyeball everybody.
Nyphix kind of looks to, kind of side eyes at Eelix.
What? I kind of give her like this weird, like shruggy, like what? What'd I say? What'd I do? This ain't gonna be just a cakewalk out of town for everybody. I mean, I could just walk right out. All's good for me, but you know, this ain't gonna be easy.
Huh. I think he holds that in his gut for a little bit longer than he wants to.
Nyphix is actually gonna kind of shimmy up to the bar next to Vivian and quietly ask her and Patty, by any chance, is there a place that a feathered gal might be able to stretch her wings out without a million eyes staring at her before I have to tuck them away for a while?
You're looking for somewhere to fly?
No, just spread them.
Well, the women's room is on the far by the storage. Plenty of space in there. Of course, you can also go in the back room, eat them by the chimney, the furnace.
I'll take you up on that offer.
Of course, keep in mind this isn't a no-fly zone, just a fire zone.
Trust me, I don't plan on having singed feathers.
Those
Then
other
just
garbage
gonna
for this.
walk into the back, and as she decides to stretch her wings out, she's also gonna take her time to speak with her, you know, her god, just to do her typical healer mumbo jumbo.
Okay.
You proceed to stretch your wings, remove your holy symbol, and begin your bit of prayer. And as you finish the chant of self-perfection, your wings come back in. Your talisman feels heavier in your hands, almost as if the weight inside of you has transferred to that talisman. And you'll look at the man who was cutting vegetables, takes the cleaver that he was holding, and presses it against his other hand. He goes, I'm in. And he goes back to cutting vegetables.
Nyphix is kind of not a rat. Just nod and then leaves. No words.
All right. So, as you guys are sitting at the table trying to contemplate on what you're preparing to do next, you finish up your meals, and as Nyphix returns to the table, Eelix, Nyphix, and Razzik, the three who are the most akin to war and corpses, mainly because Razzik creates them, Eelix has been around them, and Nyphix eats them, begin to smell something off approaching this tavern.
Action.
Smell that?
Don't tell me you're going to talk about a gorilla again.
Well, I mean, it doesn't smell like... Well, I don't know what a gorilla smells like, but this doesn't smell like a gorilla.
I'm just not surprised what you're going to about to ask.
I'd rather smells like death.
You'd be correct in that assessment.
Perhaps we should get very scarce. So we know more.
And Razzik, as you say that and turn to peer out the window, you see 6 guards. And can I get a quick perception check out of you?
Say, what kind of check?
Perception.
That is a 25.
Nice.
Interesting. You recognize one of the 6 guards that are approaching.
They look like.
Well, the last time you saw him, you were punching him in the balls while you were drowning him and choking him out.
Oh shit.
Gig
I'm
and
in sleep right now, and I immediately get up and move to the back room.
All right.
Karrith is unwise. He is unaware of what you guys are feeling.
So,
We got some trouble coming.
Where was these senses like hours ago?
I don't know. Somebody had a piss-soaked towel around us. I couldn't smell it.
What do we do?
We get up and we get ready.
I'm going to grab the leather garb from the table.
all right. You grab a hold of one of the leather armors. And are you guys preparing for a fight inside the...
I don't think we're... Personally, Karrith doesn't feel confident. He's in this mindset of running.
I'm going to move toward the door.
Okay.
Nyphix is going to move towards Vivian to warn them.
As you run up to Vivian and give her the warning, she nods at you, looks at Patty, and Patty just waves her hand like this, and Vivian sweeps to the back room as well. You watch her drawing a blade from her belt now that she's fully dressed and out of her prison attire.
Let me see if this is...
All right.
I'm going to kind of, not holler to Eelix, but kind of speak up to Eelix and ask him kind of like, what have we got? See.
I'm going to...
see what's ahead.
I'll peer through the door a little bit. See if I can see what's going on.
Make a perception check yourself.
Yeah, I rolled a 15 on perception as well.
15's high enough to notice.
And go. It's a 9. Do I have anything to add to my perception? I thought I took perception increases. I did. What is that? Can't remember how to read the sheet again. Is it forward to back or backwards to forward?
You're all the way on the left side.
Huh?
All the way to the left.
All the way to the left. So wisdom 8, 5. 5 plus 2 plus 3 is 8. Yeah, 8.
All right, so that's 17 for you. Actually, for your sheet, it should calculate it on said sheet.
It does, but like I haven't been able to get that encumbrance thing to work to remove
Gotcha.
the overloaded. Like I went to house rules and unchecked all the encumbrance related stuff I could see, but it still does that.
Gotcha. All right. So, with that said, the two of you also notice 5 guards in pristine health. They look pretty scrappy. They look like they'd be a fight. And a 6th guard that you both know you killed.
I guess it didn't quite drop like flies back there.
Oh, I think the flies are going to be here soon enough with that one.
I'm going to step back and fully twist 180 and say the Nyphix. Apparently they don't drop easy. One of the ones that we know for sure we killed, he's back up.
Back up. As in.
I look
Dead,
over my
but
shoulder.
Not dead?
Yeah, I look over my shoulder and I immediately just turn to you, kind of like push your shoulder like we just need to move.
Are we going out?
I think the consensus is hide in the back room, see what happens.
He looks fine.
And as you guys are maneuvering to the back room, the smell of death is chasing you to the back room. And soon, those doors open. Well, well, well. Isn't this a lovely lot of criminals, right, boys? And you'll hear the audible sound of everybody stopping to eat because trouble just arrived. Fuck these guys think they are walking into the Thieves Guild. Should, arrest every last one of you. Aiding and abetting, I reckon. The heavy sound of boot falls hitting the floor. One of them wanders over to the bar. What do you think, Patty? Aiding and abetting? Go fuck yourself, pig. And you still got a tongue. What, are you mad that I said no, or are you more upset that I'm into girls? Suppose none of the above. I'm more interested in where your girlfriend is. How about you tell me, and nothing needs to happen to your lovely establishment. I'd love to see you try. I'd sooner scar a coward. And I suppose you won't mind us searching the place, will you? To your heart's content, Eris. The door to the bathroom opens, and Vinny, one of the guards, is greeted by a man whose pants have not reached his hips again. His dick is just kind of hanging out. You hear him hit the ground as he's shoved back in there. Oh, hi, what are you doing? Pull your fucking pants up before you get arrested for indecent exposure. Never heard such a thing? All exposure's natural. Another guard enters into the other bathroom, and you hear them beginning to start their frisk. What you cooking, Patty? Gorilla. You look like you belong on a menu. What are the the 4 of you doing as you watch as Vivian is hanging out by the door, her dagger drawn, in case an intruder comes through?
There's some way out of this room.
What's up?
There's some way out of this room.
This room has some very small windows. They like to try and protect a lot of the formulas that they use to cook. So the windows are kind of those bathroom up top slotted windows. Smaller membered people who are like skinny and can probably fit through those windows with not too much of an issue. But it's going to require a boost to get up to them and to squeeze through. Not exactly ideal. You could maneuver some tables and shit to push over and move up the windows as well.
Am I gonna fit?
Karrith was like looking at your wings at the same time they was looking while he's trying to put on leather garb.
I mean, you might fit, but it'll be an interesting fall to the side.
Yeah. I'm kind of posted up by the door.
Remember, the drop to the ground is always scarier when you're standing at the top of the precipice.
Being that I'm in the corner, I take a look at the fireplace and see how they're handling the disposal of their ashes.
The ashes are scooped up, placed inside of a bucket, and then brought outside through the either the back service entrance, which is hidden. It is a secret door that sits to the right of this little bull statue over here, or straight out the front and down into the potted plants that usually sit out in front of the building. I'm pretty sure they're here. Got an unmanned table. 4 drinks, 4 plates. Missing a 5th, but I think we can let one of them go. What say you, Patty? We can let Vivian go. You can have your girlfriend back. We just want the birds. And you'll hear Vivian go, "Don't fucking do it, Patty. Don't you do it." And Patty takes a bit of time to respond. Ain't a hard decision. Come on. Fine. Don't answer me. You hear the sound of a sword drawing against the scabbard. You move, I'll cut the both of you. Marco. You got it, Pulse. You'll hear the guard turn around and go, I see you reaching. You want to keep that arm, don't you? Fuck. And with that, the door opens. And the guard...
The door opens, I cast Charm Person.
As the door opens and you cast Charm Person, first, what's the save?
Not sure. I got
Snaps fingers, throws everything, fireball.
I have it written down, but I can't seem to find where I wrote it.
Sorry, I love watching a hand come out and practically the epitome of just dust and going, yeah, I don't know what that was.
10 plus your spellcasting, it's 10 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, plus your spell level, plus any miscellaneous modifiers.
Yeah. So will.
And will save?
Yeah.
Excellent.
10 plus spellcasting modifier, which I would assume would be my level is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Plus...
No, it's not your level. It's your modifier. So you're a wizard. It's intelligent. What's your intelligence modifier?
5 is 15.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you had anything else beyond that.
Nope. So you cast Charm Person, and you spell passes over him.
Oh, that ain't good.
But he stops halfway in the door. He looks at Vivian. And you watch as Vivian stops before she stabs. And she's thinking for a second. This man, who should draw his blade and immediately hunker into a battle stance, he's found his fugitives, has not gone for his weapon. And Eelix, standing this close, oh, he's dead. he is very dead. And the minute you have that thought, you see his mouth.
Cast a spell real quick.
What are you casting?
Unwitting ally. Subject is considered an ally for 1 round.
What's the save?
Will.
All right.
Ooh.
He doesn't save.
I gotta roll, don't I?
What are you rolling for?
Oh. Wait, no, I don't. Hold on. Okay, so now I got him as an ally. There's nobody here. Tell everybody there's nothing in here. And that's what I whisper.
As you say that, Eelix, you watch as he starts to turn his head towards you. And it's that same jittery motion you've seen before. And you see the smile from ear to ear. That inhuman smile.
Yep.
And he spins, turns back out of the room, closes the door. Marco, what the fuck? What happened to you? And then immediately you hear the sounds of feet falls going quick, glasses getting shoved to the side, a boot on top of a counter, and the man screaming.
The hell did you do, Eelix?
This wasn't me.
Get him off me! What do you do?
Hey, man.
Marco, you're off your damn mind!
We were gonna have to kill them maybe ourselves. Maybe we just let what happens out there, get Patty in here.
Yeah, but
Pick out the
whatever.
winners.
Did anybody get a chance to see what the hell happened to him?
Yeah. That guy.
The door reopens and Patty goes, "They're distracted, quick! The secret door's open, go!"
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I the rest. Just to make sure everyone moves.
Yeah.
Vivian sneaks out, keeping low on her. And do any of you want to peek at what's happening?
I assumed that I looked over my shoulder a little bit as I was going.
Yeah, I would have too.
All right.
Once I make it out the door, then I will peek from outside of the door and watch the ensuing madness.
Okay. Karrith and Razzik, are you guys bouncing out too?
Yeah, I was waiting for Razzik to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I'm sorry, I was watching the cameras. My bad.
All right. And as you guys are wandering out, you will see the 4 guards who are pulling Marco, guard who you guys killed, off of Eris, the captain of this particular company. His mouth is latched on to the side of Eris's cheek. Blood is spilling everywhere. And Marco's hand is jabbing underneath the armor of Eris and is just stabbing him in the side, blood pooling out of it. And by the time that they manage to pull Marco off and slam him on top of the bar, Eelix, Nyphix, as you're watching through, you just hear Marco go, and he's holding on to one of Eris's kidneys that he pulled out.
I didn't do that.
As I
You
watch
heard me.
them slam him down, I just turn to the rest of the party and go, "Fuck it, we need to get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, full
Keep
speed
moving. Go.
Yeah.
out of this town.
You heard me. I just said to say that we're in the room. That one's not on me.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. You didn't have anything to do with whatever the fuck that was.
That one was not on me.
and you guys proceed to begin fleeing with Vivian. All of you donning your hoods and getting the fuck out of Dodge. With that said, where do you guys go?
All right, we got our collars off.
Down.
While you guys are deciding, I'm going to get a bio break real quick.
Yep.
All right.
So
This cannot be the first place they checked for us.
yeah.
Where do you think else they would have checked? They would have checked where the old establishment of the Tree of Ravens would have been.
Headquarters would have been first. Yes.
So this had to have been the second place. Potentially.
And yeah. Now, other places, where else would they might have looked? Because they'll probably have left people back at headquarters in case we show up there. But where are other places they could have gone that we might be able to head to for a little bit that they might not have left people at?
Somewhere they never expect us to go.
Well, no, someplace they would expect us to go, but they've already been to where they expect us to be, but we haven't been there yet.
Which
So
means
we'll have a little
one place
time.
in particular is scarce. They wouldn't
So
expect us to go back into the nest, would they?
That's the one place I think they might have left people, though, in case we do. Is there anywhere else? You know what? We're going to go to the Galaxy Vial.
The Galaxy Vial. What is that place?
It was in the magazine. I wonder if the Galaxy Vial is in this city, because if it is, that's where we're going to go.
Galaxy Vial is indeed in Belpont.
I don't think that they would look for us at this place that sells mushrooms, because we don't really do a lot or anything with mushrooms. It's completely random, and they have no reason to have looked for us there, or to even look for us there.
Also, on the way to the Galaxy Vial, you will pass the Tree of Ravens Guild Hall. So if you did want to take a detour, I'm not your dad.
Oh. What was that thing? Nope, never mind.
Look, I know it says in the notes to call me exclusively daddy, but
I'm just trying to figure out what that whole deal with the belt was last night now, because now that you said that, it's kind of weird now.
I think we're running out of options. Then if
But-
that's where we have to go, we have to go.
But yeah, like, you guys can spy on a location without entering said location.
Yeah.
Yeah, practically what we talked about was that this place, the powder keg, this couldn't have been the first place they looked for us. So we differed on the thought process that maybe they already checked the Tree of Ravens, so that maybe not fully still checked on. And I was thinking as well of going back to the Hornet's Nest. If every other guard is out, I wonder how little is left in the prison.
And I'm like, let's go get some trippy mushrooms, man.
Yeah, he's that direction. So I'm leaving this up to you guys.
And I'm not
Character's
saying let's
not
go get
much of a
trippy
command
mushrooms
room.
to get trippy mushrooms. I'm saying we need a place to plan still for what we're actually going to do. Are we going back into the prison? Because if we are, we're going to need to rest before we do. Right.
I think
So,
I think Karrith feels like we're just running out of time. So he's not even thinking truly about
Yeah.
rest.
time to do what, though? That's the thing. It's like, time for what? Like, time in general? Like, we have a finite amount of time left living? Yeah, well, that kind of sucks. But we got to figure out what we're going to do. We got to stay or we're going to go.
Well, he's going to take Nyphix's words of advice and not give much demand. He's
What about you,
not
Nyphix?
gonna...
Where to?
Nyphix is kind of just standing here listening to the three of them talk about going back to the tree, but also contemplating what Vivian was saying about not going back. And how it almost seems like they're being pushed that way. Which seems awfully... just off-putting, it seems. She's not quite sure what to say. She's kind of standing here, kind of, her eyes are shifting between the three of them as they discuss it. But she will say that returning to the tree doesn't seem like the best idea. Almost seems too easy.
Then I guess we're left with only one option, Eelix, and that is to this galaxy vial.
We can plan what we're going to do there. But I don't know why we're staying in town. I think we should kind of like get out of Dodge, collect, and come up with a game plan for what we actually want to accomplish here, because going in right now is going to be really dangerous.
How close to the tree is the galaxy vial?
You'll pass it on the way there. It wouldn't even be that far off the beaten path. In fact, from the powder keg to the galaxy vial, as you're wandering down the road, there is an alleyway that peeks straight at the front door of the Guild of Ravens. The Tree of Ravens.
Take a look.
Then lead the way.
Okay.
No matter what you see, don't stop. Hold up,
What?
attention.
Didn't hear you, Death.
I said, no matter what you see, don't stop. Don't draw attention.
Okay.
Nyphix is just kind of like give a offhanded chuckle. Giant, don't draw attention. It's a little hard.
You are 4 giant beacons of attention.
Yeah.
But on that front, Vivian will be with you partially, but eventually she will dip down a side alley, realizing that, hey, we're probably better off not being together.
Right.
But if any of you have message and need me, feel free to call. I might answer. Sending, rather. And then she hands you guys a scroll. Hands it specifically to Razzik, who's the wizard of the group. It's a one-use sending scroll. What you use it for is on you. But you never know when you're going to need it. You just know you need it. It's been fun. And thank all 4 of you for breaking me out. I'm not sure if there's any parting words for her before she bounds off.
Just thank you.
She nods, puts up her hood, and proceeds to head off. And as you guys are furrowing down the alleyway, on your way to the Galaxy Vial, this little hole-in-the-wall alchemy shop, you spy the alleyway that looks straight at the Guild of Ravens. And from this perspective, you see the ashen halls, the burnt-out hull of your guild. Tree of Ravens, now a pile of cinders. The tree that once stood magnificently in the center of that guild, lost of all of its leaves. The wood trimmings, your favorite rooms, bodies littering everywhere. One standing out amongst the rest, poised on the front walkway of the guild, on a cross, the Tree of Ravens captain, Captain Vickers.
Walking. Keep walking.
I don't know if Karrith would.
From his neck swings a sign, and his armor has been stripped from him. You do, however, see that they left him his necklace.
As Nyphix spots it, the only thing she does is she just says Karrith's name. It's kind of like a guidance.
Karrith, can you give me a percentile die?
Ooh. All right.
Me?
Karrith.
No, my name.
61. Pretty high, but still around the middle ground. Do you feel that that's high enough to keep your composure? Or would you like to make a perception check to analyze the scenario a bit more before you storm in? Anybody can, really.
I keep walking.
I think no. The way Karrith's mind is working right now, his perceptions never saved him.
Okay.
He just goes.
Razzik, you proceed to continue walking. Nyphix, you call out Karrith's name, and Karrith moves into the alleyway. And Eelix, if you can still hear me, you see another plan going up in smoke.
Yep.
Obviously.
That's a beer that just hit the table. I heard that beer hit the table.
It wasn't a beer. It's a Sprite.
It's Sprite.
Beer.
And
McDonald's
these are
water.
White cheddar Cheez-Its.
Duality's like, these fucking kids are going to be the death of me.
Can I move to intercept Karrith in the alleyway?
Karrith, Nyphix interposes herself between you and the guild.
Do you say like anything in this interception, or do you just stand?
I move in front of you and I use myself and my wings as much as I possibly can to block your path and your view. And just stand there. Kind of almost as an imposing, just like an over-imposing force.
Okay. So you're done with words.
Mhm.
I think he eyeballs you and slumps his shoulders a little bit. He just says stiffly, "Get out of my way."
No. That's not the Tree of Ravens anymore.
But that's still the captain. You're just gonna let him be perverted that way.
No. But as of right now, do you think the captain would ever walk down an alleyway, put the rest of his party in danger?
That's some big words for someone that came back with the captain dead.
Trust me, I know.
By the way, again, I'm not your dad, but PvP is always on the table.
he just now wants us to fight. Okay.
I'm just saying, I know a lot of DMs watch a punch get thrown and are like, whoa, children, right? No, fucking fight it out. I don't care. You handle your problems however you handle your problems.
I think we're adult enough that a lot of words can be exchanged without forms of physical abuse.
But the odds are fair. Sticks are on the table.
Sets like that.
Brave thought, Nate.
We'll see.
Gonna ask you one more time. Get out of my way.
I don't hear you asking.
Because I'm not asking.
I will also alert you that the time of day is roughly getting to be midday at this point. Night is falling.
In the middle of town.
I thought it was evening.
It's like dusk.
Nyphix is just gonna look at Karrith and just tell him, look, I'm not above knocking you out and dragging you back down this alleyway.
I think he just kind of scoffs and looks away. Getting really fed up.
I'd rather you be pissed off at me because I turned you the other way than
From
have
what?
you dead at the bottom of that cross.
Every time we jumped in front of something lethal, for whatever selfish reason, we put another nail in our coffin. God damn it. We were dropping like flies back there. Unlike that ilk, we should have kept away from that refuse. I looked up to all of you. I felt that the captain knew who he had at his side for a reason. Gods be damned those nooses didn't hold our heads higher than where we are now! Get out of my way!
Well, then you can tie my noose and drag me down to hell, because I'm not moving. And Nyphix is going to shove Karrith and give him a good punch in the face.
All right. Karrith, do you make move to dodge at all?
No, I take it.
Okay, then I won't make a roll. You feel Nyphix give you a quick shove and strike you in the head. Razzik is on his happy-ass way to the Galaxy Vial. No one's there, keeps going.
Trade this leather armor for some mushrooms and have a more elevated day.
Eelix, are you following in Razzik's footsteps, or are you watching this go down? Popcorn in hand.
I think I'm just going to put a quick end to it, and we'll just carry him with us. I'm going to whack him with a sleep.
All right.
But I'm going to position it in such a way that it's not going to hit Nyphix.
I'm sorry, you're gonna hit me with a what now?
Sleep
A
spell.
sleep?
Would that
Are you-
affect me?
You are not an elf, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm a half-elf.
You are a half-elf. Ooh, that might actually... Wait a quick second.
You might
Yeah,
have
I'm,
a
like,
save
checking.
bonus.
Half-elves
I
are
forgot.
immune to magic sleep effects and gain +2 racial saving throws bonuses against enchantment spells and effects.
Never
no,
mind.
You will not...
So, would I feel you tried to do that spell on me?
Well, I think if he noticed that you're an elf, he wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
If that's the case. Like, I'll know.
Instead, he picks up a big rock.
Boom!
Goes, sword cap. This'll work.
Ah! Incredibly manipulative.
Seen this happen on Bugs Bunny once.
So, you guys can sit here and continue to argue about going into that obvious death trap, or we can head over to the Galaxy Vial and see what's going on there. Rest, recuperate, and maybe I'll let you know about a certain camp that I know about the location of with somebody who you definitely want to see from all the shit that, you know, when this popped off from the beginning. The choice is yours. Sit here and squabble or meet me over at the Galaxy Vial. I mean, if you want to know where Malik's camped. Because that's information I would have heard too during that exchange, right?
Correct. The only one who didn't hear it was Karrith.
And I think that would be a pretty decent piece of blackmail temptation to throw out for quit your shit. I got something better.
With not a lot of confidence right now, he just looks at that as another false promise that's been given.
I'll challenge that. Can I get 2 rolls real quick?
Yeah.
1 roll diplomacy from Duality, and 1 roll sense motive from Karrith.
Let's see. I know I got diplomacy bonuses.
14.
14 total for you. Oh, I only got 4. 7 and 4, yeah, no.
Okay. So with that, Karrith, while it rings of another hollow promise, another thing that's going to get pulled from you, you do sense that there is a bit of truth behind it if you are willing to go. Whether Eelix is telling the whole story or not, still up for grabs. But you get sense that he doesn't want this fight to happen, and he's not intentionally trying to rug pull you.
But I'll add on, I am kind of known for not giving the whole story all the time.
Karrith really doesn't want to have to tuck his tail between his legs again. He looks back at Nyphix. Let this be a day that you remember that you robbed something from me again. And he follows Eelix.
I got $5 and they're going to fight before the end of the campaign.
Yeah. How much got on that I'm going to murder somebody by the end of it, too?
Oh, that's 100.
Goddamn plans keep getting ruined.
I assume
says that, though.
I assume when Razzik does it, that's when you're going to murder him yourself. Who hasn't done it yet and is always sticking to the plan, that's going to be the guy that gets clubbed.
Gotta hit somebody.
I thought,
And
you two
like I
pretending.
said, I can just change my appearance and walk away.
True.
All right, and Nyphix, you were going to say something before I rudely.
No, you're good. As Karrith says that and heads out the end of the alleyway to follow Eelix, Nyphix turns around and looks down the end of the alley towards the tree ravens.
You'll see 2 guards pass by the captain crucified as they are on their patrol.
What would the distance between her and the cross be?
What
The
the
distance
fuck?
The distance between the cross is 203 feet.
How much?
230 feet.
230 feet?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
And as I said, the cover of night is swiftly approaching.
Does it only look like there's 2 guards?
You only saw the 2, but I mean, where there's 1. Where you see 1 roach. What do you do?
I want to do something so bad, but the likelihood of this fucking going off correctly is like, because of my fucking luck from the last session, it's like...
My favorite thing has to be Nyphix. Yeah, my favorite thing right now, though, about Nyphix's mindset is literally, stop that, stop being stupid, let me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Literally is like eating at Karrith.
I will say you haven't rolled at all. This would be your first rolls of the night, so you don't even know what your dice are going to be.
That's why I don't want to.
So, I mean, you can go out there and get the captain's necklace off of him, or you could be a coward and follow everybody else. I'm not your dad.
Oh my god. Where was these words when I was going towards it? They were like, oh, you don't want to do that. And now it's like, oh, if you want to be a coward and walk away. It's like, what the fuck? This is gaslighting 101.
I'm going to get some magic mushrooms. See you guys later. I tried.
I didn't think you needed the words.
Karrith's words to her is what caused her to turn around.
I feel like lately that's what we've been having, though, is our words seem to really motivate us, but we have been motivating very negative things about ourselves.
You're either going to fight or you're going to fuck. We doing this?
Sorry, I was in the midst of a drink.
Alright, give me the distance between the end of the alley and the actual cross itself.
The alleyway bottoms out at 110 feet. Then rest of the distance made up would be 120 feet from going across the street to the cross, which sits about, I'd say, a quarter of the way into the walkway of the Tree of Ravens. You're only really contending with that 120 feet.
Okay, so the idea is to get to the end of the alleyway and literally fucking missile launch out of the end of the alleyway, flying, and just snatch it off of the captain and basically knock the cross down and then disappear. That's the plan.
Next question. Are you being stealthy about this? Or is this a nuke launch on an anthill? Like, what are we doing here?
Stealthy until she hits the end of the alleyway, and then gets into the alleyway, and then we're back to stealth.
I require three rolls from you. And depending on the state of those 3 rolls, I'll require 1 more. I need a stealth roll. Then I need a sleight of hand check. Then I need an attack roll. And if we didn't do good on 2 out of 3 of those, I will need 1 more stealth roll. If 3 of these dice have turned up bad, we go into red alert. And we see if you guys can survive a skill challenge to the Galaxy Vial if we're still going there. You guys, meaning just you. Everybody else has walked off of this.
I mean, I did start following Eelix. I don't know if I would have noticed you stay there.
Your perception, you said it yourself, was not there because of your mood. I mean, unless you want to, not be a coward and turn around.
So you said stealth, attack, sleight of hand.
Stealth?
Yeah, stealth, sleight of hand.
Attack, in that order. Sorry, I didn't want you to feel left out, so I wanted to throw the cat as well.
It's alright, thank you.
Doesn't hit as good a punch the second time around.
It's okay, it's like when Mom says, love you too.
Your choice. 3 rolls or walk on. TikTok.
I don't think I have sleight of hand though.
Dexterity check.
This is just me rolling to see if
Nope.
I would. Yeah, of course not. No. This was me seeing if I would have even been able to get out of my mindset after having to deal with that.
Fuck it. Let's just go for it. Cause why
Let-
not?
Oh
It's
shit!
D&D, right?
Let's go.
It's D&D. It's about rolling dice.
Let's get this TPK going.
Yo,
Oh,
yo,
no.
I walked off. I never stopped walking. Just saying. I never stopped. I'm still walking.
I'm walking here.
They're at the other end of the alley. This is all Nyphix's dumb motherfucking idea.
I feel like Razzik has like a spider sense moment and then just starts running towards the galaxy vial. No, the first TPK won't be on my hands.
Nor will it involve me.
Watch him break into a sprint.
Before I roll this stealth roll, though, I'm still roll it, but I need to know which modifier I'm going with. Are we going daylight, dim light, or darkness?
Dim light. I said darkness.
Yeah, it's on the way.
12, so that makes it a 15 for the first stealth.
Nyphix, we could have been doing this together. We could have been. But instead, you're like, fuck you, shut up! Alright, sounds like a good idea by myself.
You had to fucking say that bullshit at the very fucking end.
Because you know I'm right!
All right, that was your stealth check.
Oh, I gotta turn back to your camera. I'm waiting for the digital dice.
Not bad.
19? I don't think I have a modifier for attack, though.
Well, this is your sleight of hand, so.
Yeah, second is sleight of hand,
that's
third is
plus
attack.
3.
Ooh,
Okay.
22.
Lost my pencil.
Final
It's
roll.
okay, you got people
Oh, that's
with,
what we're
with
looking
memory.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be an
I'm looking
unarmed.
at you. Nice. I just thought your camera was not working.
What the fuck?
That's a 5.
Plus your unarmed attack modifier. If you're looking at your character sheet, it would be underneath unarmed, fortitude, will, and
Plus
reflex.
2, I believe. That makes it a 7.
All right.
Global target.
So here's what happens. You watch as Karrith is wandering down the alleyway. Stink of anger and regret still heavy on him. The guilt of not being there when the captain needed him most. And his words burning into your head. And in that moment, you turn back. You slink your way down the alleyway, shed the robe that was given to you by Vivian, leaving it in the alley. It would only be a hindrance at the moment. You wait for the final passing of guards, and as they begin to step back, you take 2 steps out of the alleyway and full speed start flying towards the captain's body. As you get there, in the swiftest move possible, you fling your fingers up and you pull off not only the necklace that he was wearing, but the sign they posted around his neck. And then in that moment, you push your whole body against the cross and kick off of it with the hope of flinging the cross up and letting it hit the ground as they have nailed it into the ground. And all you were met with is a firm as the cross stays firm. 2 out of 3 succeeded checks. The captain stays crossed to the ground, but you are in the alleyway with 2 confused guards of what that noise was, holding a sign and a necklace. You have your cloak at your feet. What do you do? You've risked it for the biscuit once. You have a prize. Feeling gambly? I second what Patty said. I'm not afraid to scar a coward. No. If you're going to gamble, I might dust your character.
You said I'm in the alleyway now?
You're back in the alleyway. You are home free. You can cash your chips in and head back to the crew. Or take a second flyby. Keep in mind, guards are alerted now. They heard a firm sugar-dugga. And no one will save you. Everybody walked away. Also, you have the sign in your hand if you want to read it. It's on you.
Didn't we already read the sign?
We did not.
What does the sign say?
A lesson to all those who oppose Emperor Titus Arbalus. Long hang the coward. Or rather, long hang the thief. Sorry.
When I did my fly-through, was I able to spot any other guards out there?
Make a perception check.
That's a 5.
I'd say you felt some eyes, but that's about as much as you got. You were really focused on your task at hand.
Nyphix is going to redon her robe, snap the sign, drop it, and walk back up the alleyway.
With a halfway satisfying, the sign breaks in your hand and gets tossed to the side, and you maneuver back towards your allies. The captain's necklace now in your hand. That smooth jade that he had fashioned.
Once I make it back to the party members, I walk up to Karrith and I grab a hold of his wrist and I slap it into his hand. And just simply say, since you want to be the captain so bad,
Shots fired.
Truly misled, too. I think when you slap that into his hand, he is kind of shocked, but I think for the first time you kind of see his eyes look at you a little more in gratitude than anything else. But he stays quiet.
All right. And you meet up with a very impatient, foot-tapping Razzik. Fuck you assholes were this whole time. And Eelix, who has gotten there shortly afterwards, as you stare at a small hole-in-the-wall alchemy shop that, while a hole in the wall is not afraid to show what it's got, there is a glass vial that has been fashioned into the front of this building that is consistently bubbling, a greenish-blue liquid that keeps shifting between those two colors, but never loses any fluid, despite how much it's bubbling. Pulse check, how we feeling? Would you guys want to end it here? Pretty good spot to end. Next step is inside the shop with magic mushrooms.
I think Eelix wants his magic mushrooms, man.
Yeah. I think we should step inside.
Just let me take like a 2-minute break so I can go get a drink real quick.
I mean, I also know it's like 5 a.m. for Eelix.
What? Dude, it's 7:15.
Ah, see? Shit's getting late.
That's why I was like, I just got off work. I was just getting cleaned up and moving stuff around because I got my new computer coming in at the end of the week. So I'm trying to get the desk at least in a usable state when it gets here. So let's do a quick setup. And I'm doing prep work for a couple games too.
I see.
This is my heavy work week between work and D&D, and then I'm on vacation next week, so woot.
I'm taking mine the 9th, whatever the week of the 12th is. 11th, 12th, whatever that Monday is. It's like the second week of March. Taking a week off.
I will alert you guys, you are now past the point where I have pretty pictures, so it is what it is at this point.
Okay.
But I am more than happy to keep running if you guys want to keep playing.
Yeah, I'm good with whatever everybody else is good with. Pinch and twist.
What about you, Death? You hanging on?
I don't have shit else to do, bro. Let's go.
I am trying to figure out what they did to everything here.
What happened?
They changed the layout.
Dungeon
So
draft.
now, like, Owlbear Rodeo.
Oh.
So now, like, everything is just moved around from where it once was.
Yeah,
And,
I haven't used Owlbear in a while.
Like, the maps used to be in the top right, right above the hand, and you click above the hand, pick whatever map you wanted from a big icon window where you could, like, get a preview of the map. Now it's all down in the bottom in, like, this tiny little shit piss window where the window itself is no bigger than your icons, to be honest. And you can hover over them and be like, oh, this is what this is. The problem is like, I didn't name any of these bastards with the intent of like, oh, hey, this is the powder keg that you guys are currently in. I just kept it as what my wife had it named as when she made the maps for me. So this is not the powder keg, even though it is. It's called Tavern Noob, because you're not the first group who played on this map. There was another group who played in the powder keg before you guys did.
Interesting.
So I had to sit there and scroll through which one it was so that I could find the powder keg.
Yep. What are you using to build these? Dungeon draft?
Incarnate.
Incarnate? All right.
I build them on graph paper, and my lovely wife then takes them into Incarnate and spruces them up.
All right. Yeah, I have Dungeon Draft, Wonder Draft, Dungeon Alchemist is nice. That was worth it. That does procedural generation of room tiles.
Oh, good. Not that. There we go. Blank map of some sort I can use.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get away from the anticipation combat music. Get back to a little bit more fun-filled stuff. As you guys push open the door to the Galaxy Vial, you see a shop that looks a lot bigger on the inside than it does on the outside. What looked like it was like a studio, almost a 2 studio apartments sandwiched together on the outside, expands into this rather large galaxy-shaped dining area. Like everything that you're walking on, and the floor, the walls, the ceiling, are all covered in little starlight speckles. There are 2 wooden tables that break up this little monotonous streak, and entire wooden shelves that sit behind, filled with different alchemical reagents of different varieties. And behind the counter, you will see 2 girls. Both of them are dressed almost in priestess outfits, though they look more for show than anything else. One is in white and red, and the other one is in white and blue. And they look at you, these twins, as you enter into the shop, and proceed to both kind of clap their hands together as they go, "Welcome to the Galaxy Vial. What can we do you for today?"
Saw an ad in a cookbook in a bar's bathroom for some mushrooms. And the night was being a little weird. Had to break away from what we were doing. Figured might come here, check this out for a few minutes. Browse around the shop.
Well, browse around you can. Mushrooms. You must be talking about the toadlings. We have a couple different varieties on those, different potions that do different things. And she starts breaking out all of these potions that have tiny little mushrooms inside of them. Each of them has like a yellowish cap, and then almost like a Super Mario mushroom has the top speckled cap. And there's a lightning one that has a blue cap with a bunch of yellow, white dots on top of it. A fire one where it's red with a whole bunch of orange dots on top of it. And she talks about one that's in large person, one that shoots off a lightning bolt, one that shoots off a firebolt. And she's like, just keep in mind, you're not talking about lightning bolt the spell. You're talking about a little pew-pew stun gun. Still very effective if you're trying to set someone's pants on fire. Then we have some fun things. And she takes out another one, and inside of it, you see these mushrooms that are lacking form. Their forms are bubbling. And you're watching as they're bubbling and recombining themselves inside of this almost neon green ichor. Even as she puts the glass onto the counter, the ichor itself, where liquid would normally slosh inside of the vial, it doesn't. It wiggles like a jelly.
Okay. What's this one do?
This one is a bit more interesting. Sends you on a bit of a magical trip, if you will. A lot of us like to call it plane dancing. You'll be here, of course, the whole time, but it definitely paints your world in a different view. It's also been known as the Crossroads. People tend to see spirits when they use these. And we advise anybody who has any lost baggage to not drink it. Granted, if you're not the type to get affected by something like that, tug away! And you'll watch the other girl comes over and very antagonistically is going, chug, chug, chug!
Hey, Karrith, I got something over here you're going to want to try.
Setting him.
Karrith is still reeling with a lot of the things that just happened a little bit ago.
Yep. And this drink will help you relax. It'll put things into perspective.
Well, if you're in a relaxed mood, yes, it'll help you relax.
Are you telling her to
She smiles. She goes, yes, so long as it's used 50 feet from our shop within our purview, it totally will keep you relaxed.
And how much are these? Is this particular potion?
Jesus Christ.
Roll a diplomacy or a bluff check. Diplomacy if you're trying to like sway these girls to your side. Bluff if you're trying to secret from Karrith, in which case they'll notice as well. But we're looking for like whatever one is going to be your higher mod there.
All right. Well, I didn't look first, so rolling. I mean, that's a 19 before anything. And which one do I want to do? Let's see. Bluff is 10. And what was the other option?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy's a 4. I think.
You
Yeah,
watch
4. I'm going with bluff for that plus 10 there.
You watch as the red outfitted girl will turn to you and go, "You give me a show, I'll give it to you for free." And then the blue outfitted girl will shove the red one and go, "Mara, we need to make money."
All right, you give me the potion, I'll give you the show.
And she'll proceed to slide you the potion while she's getting at by the blue outfitted girl.
Dude, this is gonna be so good for your character. Trust me. This is not the bad magic. This is not the bad.
Well, with my 2 + 2 4 sense motive, when you did that, I am completely oblivious with what you're trying to do to me.
I'm just gonna walk up. I'm gonna hand you the drink. Now, this is something you probably would have seen happen like a million times. I just hand people drinks all the time, and they just drink them. Like, anytime we're at a bar, like, there's a good chance I can just walk up to somebody, tell them, hey, you should have this drink, and they'll just drink it. We've used it before on missions where, we'd put something in the drink to knock somebody out, and I would just, or in food, like, people just take things I offer them. You're not exactly sure if it's magic or not. Honestly speaking, it's 50% magic, 50% skill checks when I do this thing, but I'm offering you the drink. And I'm just saying, here, man, have a drink real quick.
With the amount of things that get slapped into Kara's hand, like as if he can't grab things on his own, he can't help.
That.
I'm sorry, say over time.
You were going to grab the one thing, but my God.
Right? So, Karrith is already, God, a smoldering mess. Let's be honest. He swings it back.
All right. So, with that said, Duality, are you performing any particular type of magic, or letting the river take him where he goes?
So, as my character has, their whole thing was their spy game. They always change their face, their personality. You've probably known a couple dozen different faces or personalities of Eelix so far. So I think what he's going to do, and you're asking like how I'm going to kind of tilt the magic of this potion, like what kind of trip I'm sending him on?
I'm asking if you intend on sending him on a trip, or if you want to let, the story be the story. I am absolutely on each one.
So if I can influence the trip a bit, it would be to send him down the rabbit hole of like the bajillion personalities and personas that I've used that he knows, but also of everybody else he knows basically being swapped around. Like, oh, that's not who they are in this reality. This is their kind of like one of those episodes where the main character's not the main character anymore. It's the brother of the main character. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Like their social positions are kind of... Yeah, like a fever dream acid trip where people's positions are changed. Like the captain isn't the captain anymore. You were the captain. But you're looking at it from the original captain's point of view. And you're going to work through your shit so you can be a productive member in this group while dealing with all your fucked up baggage
Holy shit.
Personas embodying pieces of
Listen,
guilt,
we said shots fired, not a shotgun to the gut fire.
I'm doing it the way I know how.
I'm being dissed in a lot of campaigns lately.
No, this is going to help you. You are going to be psychoanalyzed and helped through in a massive fever dream where everybody is the same but different.
Okay, so who's going to be carrying me through this as this goes through this situation? When's it hit me?
Well, I'm going to
roll back.
Yeah, I'm going to be the one who helps guide you through your trip here. But in the spirit of this trip, and now that I've got something in my mind, you will be experiencing this trip as Karrith in the persona of Captain Vickers, talking to Captain Vickers in the persona of Karrith. And while we're at it, let's flip their moods as well. You know full well that you are Karrith, and you are speaking as the captain would to Karrith. Meanwhile, before we go on that trip, because I want to think of some other funny things we can totally do, because I think it would be kind of boring to just have it like, oh, character development. So, I will take a quick minute to think of some other things I could throw in there at the moment. But in the meantime, Eelix, you watch as Karrith just zones out. Eyes go wide, and he is just standing there.
Oh.
And then what's worse is for you and the girls, the galaxy splits. And in that galaxy split, you watch all the stars starting to come aligned to paint the fever dream that he's having.
Oh.
And in this moment, while this spell is taking effect, there's something you can do to continually infect the dream. By saying the word switch, you can change people's personas.
Okay.
So we shall see how that one goes as we. But in the meantime, Razzik and Nyphix. So I have a second to think about that hot lead boring into our boy's soul. What are you guys doing?
Drugs.
This isn't a drugstore. This is an alchemist shop with legitimate medicine.
What's the difference?
Take what? I'll point at Karrith and I'll be like, I'll have what he's having.
You don't even know what I'm going through yet.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going through yet.
Bud.
He just sees
A hell of a day. I'm ready to put my brains somewhere else.
I'll be honest with you, I pulled that out of my ass last second.
the zone of wonder, and he's like, that. And the blue-haired girl turns to you and goes, 200 gold.
Oh, shit. Get you back next time? Hey!
Roll a diplomacy check.
I swear to God.
That works. Oh shit, I don't have any diplomacy. This will be good.
I don't even know who my friends are anymore.
Nope. I don't
Trust
know
me,
that.
this will be good. It's like your own version of Bojack's from halfway
That's my
down,
team.
Oh
but
my
beneficial.
fucking God.
Dear God.
Razzik.
Oh man.
So as you say that, with the I'll get you next time. You watch as she spies the leathers that you had picked up. You have 2 of them in your hand, and she goes, "Tell you what, I'll trade you, but you're not getting the high quality. We could use leather and some ingredients."
I'll tell you what. Trade. Let's go. Like I said, it's been a real shit day.
And she will hand you a ichor that is bubbling, yellow and green, and you'll see the mushroom in it is laughing. It has no voice coming out of it, but you see the face on it is just laughing. And
Razzik comes up to me. I just immediately start talking. I'm like, hello, little friend. How are you today?
he spins in the vial and then starts dancing, still laughing. He looks like he's having a fucking wonderful time. And then you'll watch as the mushroom compacts and then expands really, really quick. And the potion that you're holding in your hand gets a small green cloud at the top of it, threatening to uncork itself on you.
Oh, wow. I guess you're in a hurry. And I swallow it.
What the fuck?
All right. So first I need a...
Hey, what?
I didn't even know.
I need a fortitude save from Razzik. Let's get that
Okay.
one down.
You got it. Uh, 14.
That meets. I'll let you decide if you want to take this. The effect that you would be suffering from is you're going to go on the trip one way or the other. That shit's going to happen. The side effect is, for the next 2 hours, you will have the most noxious, rancid, also flammable farts you have ever had in your life. And you can tell that because the minute that that bottle came off of your mouth, you did the bad thing, and you sniffed after you had drank it, and the mushroom farted in the bottle.
What a quizzical little fellow. Let's go!
All right, so 2 hours of fireball farts. Those will be fun. If you ignite one of your farts within a 5-foot square near you, it deals 2d6 fire damage.
We,
Successful reflex save to half, but for the next 2 hours only. So use it.
no one stand behind me.
All right. With that, Nyphix, anything you want to do before I change the camera?
Oh no, this is not Nyphix's.
I'd volley that. They have healing potions here.
No.
Why not?
She's watching this brain splitting toilet bowl happen as she walks in. After she's just walked in and slapped this into Karrith's hand, and then Karrith gets called over by Eelix and just downs a bottle, and then it's like this one-way fast-track train to what the fuck has just happened. And
no kidding, honestly.
now she's gonna sit for this passenger ride and watch the madness ensue.
All right. So with that, standing in close proximity, Nyphix, give me... If you want to watch this madness unfolding and watching the two dreams come out, give me a spellcraft or a use magic device check.
Oh, fuck.
And don't worry, we'll see what happens if the streams touch.
I don't think I have either one of those, so... You're
Base
just getting...
Yep, D20.
regular roll. I think that's just a 10.
All right. So you will be...
Yeah.
It's 10 plus your intelligence modifier for one and your charisma modifier for the other.
So 11.
All right. So you will get to see the outside version of this. But this is the sound of Razzik. First, you watch the wah as his eyes go wide, his pupils taking up the entire of his irises, and then he farts, and a giant green cloud escapes from underneath his robe. And Eelix, standing so close, you will see the galaxy, him, and
The button. Well, I'm sorry, you cut out.
you will see the galaxy form underneath farts, and the fart coalesces into the first big bang of his new universe.
Okay. That happened.
We're on shrooms. So, Razzik, as you're sitting there watching these electric green clouds maneuvering around you, you begin hearing the clicking and almost a clicking and hunting sounds of creatures inside of this green haze. What do you do? All good choices. You there, Razzik?
Yeah.
He's gone.
I'm sorry, I'm high as fucking natural.
We're high getting high. This is gonna end well. I can
How meta is it gonna get that he gets so high in real life that his character gets high and replaces his personality?
It could happen. It could happen.
How meta of a high could you get?
So you hear the sounds of creatures clicking and hunting inside this electric green cloudy mist. What do you do?
Go and play with it.
All right. You begin to fumble and find your way through the woods. Go ahead and roll me a survival check. As Eelix, you and Nyphix are watching as Razzik holds his hands up like this and is now wandering around the establishment.
This went completely off the rails from what I thought was going to happen.
We're not there yet. We'll get back to Karrith in a second.
20. Let's go.
20. All right. So while you are fumbling and finding your stop behind Eelix, but interposed between Nyphix, and in your green hazy dream, you will see a creature begin to coalesce and swirl outside of this electric green haze. It's got almost these jelly-like globules that sit amongst its shoulders, its neck, its torso, and it rears up and is now towering almost like 3 feet above you. It's got almost a worm-like dragon body with 2 antennae sitting on the top of it. Its mouth opens wide, and you see bouts of electricity dancing inside as you hear the sound of a... It stares at you, wondering what your next move is going to be. Good move.
Be my friend.
Oh, me?
No, I'm talking to the green oozy creature. You want to be my friend?
Give it an animal handling check.
Animal? Okay.
And are you only asking it to be your friend, or are you...
Or what?
Or are you going to do other things?
No, just friend. I'm not trying to have my way with it.
That was not where I was going with that. But...
I don't know where you were at 17.
All right. So you'll watch as the creature proceeds to kind of look at you quizzically. And upon deciding that you're not a threat, it moves behind you and kind of shoves its elongated body to push you in a certain direction. And then you'll watch as it scoots out behind you and then starts dipping and diving through this green haze, going forward.
I'm going to emulate its maneuvers.
And as you do, you feel yourself turn almost into putty and begin to slide through this haze as well. Your body almost rhythmically dancing amongst like water in a torrent. And soon you will find yourself amongst a field that splits amongst this electric green haze. Underneath, a brown covering of dirt lines the feet, and you see footfalls landing inside this brown haze. Karrith, as you stand outside of the Guild of Ravens, you will watch member after member of your organization wandering through the guild hall. And as Nyphix proceeds to pass by you, her winged form, you will hear out of Nyphix's mouth, Eelix's voice go, "How you doing?" and walks in. What are you intending to do? All good choices.
All good choices. Silence.
Do we need a minute? You examine your hands and recognize very familiar regalia. It's Captain Vickers' regalia. Roll me a sense motive on yourself. If you will not move, I will make you move.
Yeah. I'm just enjoying the experience, man. I'm just floating. 6.
Oh, not you. I was looking for a... God damn, I finally get a low roll out of you. But I'll use a sense motive as well. I need Nate's sense motive. Nate's the one that's we're doing both at the same time.
Oh, okay. So my sense motive, okay, that's 8 plus 2, so flat 10.
Karrith, as you proceed to look at this armor and look at the size of your body, the largeness of it, you don't remember this belonging to you, but it must have. Like, why wouldn't it? You are the captain of this establishment. You are Captain Vickers of the Tree of Ravens. These are your people who you've recruited. What do you do as you watch member after member wandering about the tree, going through the hallowed halls of the Tree of Raven, still standing, by the way? This effervescent white cloud surrounding the outside of it.
I think just as much as he's been so far, he's still very skeptical of everything he's doing. He feels like so many people have been leading his direction, and anytime he's been making a decision, it didn't matter. So I guess he kind of just pushes his hand against the armor to kind of like push it away. Like that's not for me.
As you start pushing against this armor, trying to get it off your body, you can't find the clasps. And to make this even more confusing, 6 more people walk by, all with Eelix's voice, all going, "How you doing?" as they wander past you. And then one, as he walks past, goes, "How you doing?" "Oh, sorry. How you doing?"
I don't know who these people are. Just gonna try to saunter past and be like, "Pardon me."
You begin pushing past this menagerie of almost a crowded school during period change of different forms of Eelixes, women Eelixes, men Eelixes, orc Eelixes, elven Eelixes, gnome Eelixes.
Pardon me.
That one time that Eelix was part of a nudist crowd. Years.
No.
Hey, man,
He averts his eyes and tries to move.
And before you know it, you are at the guild door. And Razzik, as you're watching the dirt tracks, you see hundreds of little feet begin dancing amongst the tracks. And you watch the green creature begin stepping within these tracks, kind of dancing as he goes as well, and trying to match these green rhythmic tracks. To not really a great avail for the most part. Not a great dancer. Yeah, he's not a great dancer. So you'll watch him stumble and trip a little bit as he's going. And every time he trips and he falls, he exhales a small electric current that buzzes around his body.
I'm going to dance along with everybody else and touch that electric current.
Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
No, stop it. Stop it. Go away. Go away. I don't want licks.
Okay. So Nyphix and Eelix, you will watch as Razzik begins to start maneuvering his body in the most squarest stance he possibly could. And you watch all of the hairs on his body start to rise as he goes, "Fuck yeah." And you can tell he's just having a good, jolly old time. This creature is now dancing around with you, and occasionally it tips over and falls, and you feel the electricity run through your skin. And it's such a fantastic feeling of current just running through every cell in your body, but not in a way that makes you jump and pass out on the floor and piss yourself. More like your body feels alive. Like a live wire dancing amongst these footprints. And as you're watching this scene, Karrith, as you see inside the dream, somebody dancing. And Eelix, who does he see dancing? Any character. You can even make one up.
Oh, I can make one up?
You can make one up. Rules are yours. Ball is in your court. What are you doing? Also, Nyphix, I forgot to mention, while they're in this form, magic has effects on them. You can also interfere with different magical spells.
It's the old lady who had the little garden of vegetables that he would raid when he was a kid and would chase them off that had like the really scary eye.
So you watch this old lady just dancing amongst all of these Eelix tree of ravens as they're disappearing into the white fog that grows ever present. And you'll see the one eye bulging out of her head. As she looks at you, catches your eye, and then says, "How you doing?" And then very swiftly turns stern, but doesn't stop shimmying and dancing.
I try to find the nearest door.
The nearest door is behind you to the guild.
Go away.
And I turn and I go into the door.
And as you turn and you open up and you run through this door to move through it, Razzik, the ground beneath you just, and like it's on a conveyor belt. You feel yourself begin to lose your balance. Make a reflex saving throw.
That's a 12.
12?
13.
13.
13.
All right, Nyphix and Eelix, you will watch as Karrith jerks quickly and Razzik tumbles ass over tea kettle before regaining his footing like it never happened. And he's now just once again moving and jiving. And you'll watch as well, Karrith, as you open up the door and step through as Captain Vickers into the hall. A bunch of the different waiting consorts turn to you and go, "Welcome home, Captain." And as you go to shut the door behind you, you will watch that old lady doing link twirls towards you. Just she's barreling towards the door.
I'm just going to like brace myself against the door as I just like wait for this thing to pass by.
As you begin to brace the door and wait, you slam the door shut and brace the door. And as you brace the door, you hear and a paint cloud just envelops behind the door as Eelix and Nyphix watch as Razzik shimmies his way closer to Karrith and lets out another stinker.
Jesus.
As the smell wafts into your face, you proceed to look around the skills, Karrith, and you begin to hear something. It's familiar to you. It's crying. And it's not a voice you often hear cry. It's Captain Vickers' voice. What do you do?
Well, if I think it's Captain Vickers' voice, I think this is where Karrith's mind kind of tries to reel back into what the reality is. And think that maybe he's alive. And goes to the voice.
You begin sprinting past member after member, and you will watch different variations of crew go past as you find yourself in a hall with Captain Vickers. The voice, as you're drawing closer to it, starts out the man who you knew, the deep, booming voice, for it regresses down to the voice of a child. And sitting before you, in full plate armor, fetal position, sitting on his butt, his knees pressed up against his head, buried in his knees, is a childlike Captain Vickers, crying.
Captain, what's wrong?
And as you say this, the captain's face picks up from his knees, and he doesn't turn to look at you at first. But you hear him say, "I'm scared. I'm scared they're going to be unkind to each other. I'm scared that we're going to be unkind."
I think Karrith doesn't want to be here anymore. And tries to leave.
And as you try to leave, you turn and see Captain Vickers has moved in front of you. But he's not wearing his armor. He's wearing yours. He looks at you and goes, "Where do we go from here?"
I don't know, that's what they donned you with this. This isn't my job.
Not your job. It's all of our job. Look around you. And as he points out to the group, you'll see Razzik pass by and hear, "Jeff, how you doing?" As he's passing by. And then he takes a couple steps back after he stops. And you see a guy that looks like me? You know what? Never mind. At which point in time, you'll see as Karrith's complexion begins to shirk back up on himself, now looking quizzically at this scene once more.
No.
And what's more, as this scene is unfolding, Razzik, you see that there are two sets of footprints far away from this dance battle you're having with Electric Boogaloo Jelly Monster. What do you do?
Sets of footprints far away?
Yep, they're just chilling. They're not dancing. They're not hanging with... Really throwing off your mojo, man.
So, yeah, dude, I just ignore them completely. I make them disappear. Just like flash at them like they're water. And disappear.
And as you splash at them like they are creatures emerge from these footprints. These two creatures, one is a shadow. Its long tendrils, ears pull behind it. They are rabbit-like, jagged ears. And its body is sharp and gnarled. And the other one is a brilliant green. Its rabbit ears pull down over its face, and its eyes are closed, as if it's panicking. And then you hear, and these two vanish from your sight. Once more, the green monster that's dancing with you will then begin to split and become several green monsters, all of them dancing around you. Also, this place is starting to reek like ozone.
I mean, I like ozone, but the party's still going.
And as you say that, you clap your hands together, and you'll watch as all these little fires start to erupt around you like little fireworks.
Ooh.
Adding a little bit more flair to this motion. And Eelix and Nyphix, respectively, you will watch as every couple weird dance moves that Razzik is throwing out, he's clapping his hands and casting out spark, which is igniting his clouds in the general vicinity. He's now becoming a bit of a hazard.
Oh, God.
So far controllable, but a hazard nonetheless.
Oh, joyous.
With that, Karrith, you'll watch as the captain begins to start walking you through here. He goes, "This job is for all of us. We all built this, all of us with our hands. This soil tended us. As the soil that I built, the soil I tilled, this is all of us. And a lot of Eelix, but all of us." And as he begins to pour the soil, you'll hear the soil say, "How you doing?" Followed by a face forming in the soil. Just stares at you for a second, goes, "Don't mind me."
He immediately looks away from the face in the sand to, respect that. Said, "Don't mind me." and he tries to study a little bit. I feel like I'm trying to think what Karrith would be doing to try to fight against this in his head, because he's starting to now like have this weird sense that he has no identity. He's no one. He's nobody, and it's really fucking with his head.
Well, as per Eelix's wishes, the camera pans, and you are no longer in your body. You are in Captain Vickers' body, looking at Karrith. Karrith in prison garb. Karrith with only a bed nail in his hand. A Karrith who, upon seeing this sight, drops the bed nail, looks at you and goes, I'm just so angry. Why wasn't I there? Why didn't you bring me?
I think the way he hears himself say that and takes in those words, the only thing that comes to mind is because you aren't ready.
Ready for what? I was certainly ready to watch everybody die around. I was ready to not be there for you. I was ready to find out third person that my mentor, my master, my trainer, my fucking father was gone. And you sit there on a cross in the field. Everybody around me is moving. Everybody around me has direction. Everybody around me knows, and I am lost. I am so fucking lost, Captain. Please. And what does Captain Vickers say to affirm Karrith?
I think Captain Vickers understands what Karrith said to him once before. And that it was the idea that he is no stranger to death. And that he seen too much of that around him already. What's another body? And he remembers that Karrith found reason to run out of that barn. Not for another life, but his own. And says, sometimes our fear is what leads us the most. Just like ravens in a field when they hear the thunder. Sometimes we're guided by our fears. Just so we can fly among the lightning.
And as the camera switches back, once more as Karrith, how do these words from Vickers make you feel?
Like something stuck. He didn't want to settle in the idea that he's afraid to do something because it seems like to everyone else it's a dumb decision. But for him, maybe it's enough to give him ground to think of what's next. Maybe not all of his thoughts are lost on deaf ears. Maybe his ears count.
Vickers will clap you on the shoulder. You're not alone, Karrith. I'm right here. And he points to the necklace in your hand as you hold your hand up and see that jade amulet. Not some lonely boy in a field. Your family. Where you are, your home.
We may be unkind for a while, Captain. But there will be a tree again.
From even the smallest acorn, a blossom may grow.
Stop.
And with this, you will feel a presence behind you, just hanging and chilling. And as you look, it's Eelix. Eelix, what are you hanging out behind him?
I'm sorry, my dog just burped in my face. What's going on?
A strong resounding moment between Vickers and Karrith, and you are now standing present behind. He's still tripping, but has noticed you. What form do you take in his dream world?
Random background character.
You'll see his NPC 3 is standing there.
I try to make sense of the
Go lie
floating
down.
text over his head that just says that.
Go.
Try to dissipate it with my hand.
Go.
As you try and dissipate the floating text, it appears an exclamation point. You just hear, "Hello, traveler!"
I just sit down. I feel like I'm fully losing it now.
Please provide 3 griffin feathers and 1 knoll tongue for your reward of 3 fish rolls.
And with that, you feel yourself pulled from this weird ethereal dream you were having once more in the world, and watching as Razzik is just getting his groove on. There is no music, but man, he hears it.
Hell yeah.
You will also, I think Nyphix, since she was the quietest, will notice that out of Razzik's right ear is oozing a small amount of green substance.
I'm gonna call out to Eelix and go, is that normal?
I have no idea. Hey, is that normal? I asked the girl in the red dress.
She'll look and go, "Oh, he's manifesting something. It'll either be nothing or something, or both. Really, it could be anything."
So what
if
you're
you
saying is it's not a nothing. That's something.
Yeah, kind of. Really depends on where he's at.
Well, it looks like he's getting his groove on pretty well, so... Anyway, we could snap him out of it a little bit early.
Yeah, best way to pull him out of it?
Just grab that green ichor and pull. It's like a ripcord.
All you.
Eelix? No,
Ah.
sir.
It's
No,
all
that's all you. You brought us here, buddy.
Yeah,
That's
but
all you.
I just washed my hands.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna go get some fresh air, and you're gonna watch Nyphix literally dip out the front door.
Oh my god.
Razzik is just.
Oh, damn right.
Eelix leaves as well, apparently.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not gonna do that. That's fucked up. All right, I'll pull the little. I'll do the little. You
gonna ripcord him?
I'll ripcord him.
So as you,
I mean, it sounds dirty as fuck. So I'm gonna make eye contact the whole time.
Well, it's gonna get worse if you do this. But you dry start Razzik as you pull on this green ichor coming out of his ear, and you'll hear the as it comes pulling out of his.
It's moist.
I heard her whinge.
Ugh.
And in your hand, as Razzik snaps back to reality, you are holding a slimy green gelatinous egg. No bigger than a chicken egg.
I'm gonna save this for later.
Ugh. Why?
I don't know yet, but I'm telling you, I may want this thing later. I don't know why, but there's something I might be able to do with it. Okay. I will think of something weird, all right?
And with that, the two girls will begin clapping at the things that they have witnessed. And let's see how friendly they're feeling. That is so cocked, but I'll take it. They look at you and go, so, you've intrigued us. Doesn't look like you guys have any money on you. But, for what it's worth, if you guys are interested in one more, I suppose, provide you with a level 1 for each of you. Dealer's choice. All these Shermie boys are level. She points to some of the Shermie ones.
Pretty much any level 1 spell.
Yep. Anything that can be turned into a... I will post a list to chat in a quick second. I had my book next to me.
Yeah, I'll take one. And I'm going to ask, so what's this egg?
You'll watch as they kind of look at each other, waiting for the other one to answer to it, and then they look back at you and go, oh, no one's ever wanted to get ripcorded before, and we weren't going to do it.
Going to save this egg. I may hatch this egg. And whatever comes out, I'm going to name Felicia.
Give me a quick second. I've got one more side of scrolls to grab. Perfect. And I will update chat with that. And you all can feel free to pick your one potion from the list.
Nyphix is outside. She did not come back after that noise she heard. And she heard it outside. No, sir.
What's that list?
Going up in general chat as we're speaking.
Oh, okay. I was like,
But that said, I think this might be a good spot to pan it out for the night while we contemplate our second moves, get our rest in, our full rest.
Yeah, that went a little further than I was anticipating.
Did it go further in a good direction? Or was
yes.
it like
yes, I just wasn't. No, it was good. It was good. I was just saying, like, I was not anticipating it going that crazy.
That's what they all say when you start just dipping in acid.
You're in a spike.
Didn't expect to go that nuts.